Welcome to AARP, Arizona Hispanic Connection. Educate. Celebrate. Connect. Arizona Hispanic Connection.
Welcome to Arizona Barrio Stories and Latino USA TV. Thank you for tuning in today, and thank you for being a part of this platform. We have David Parra Luna today. He always brings us information that hits you where you need to be hit sometimes, because maybe you close your mind to certain things and then something happens within your circle and you don't know who to ask, you don't know who to go to. Retirement can be challenging. You might not know who to turn to. Well, you can tune in to David. He can help us. He has good sound advice, and he always has good nuggets. Thank you, David, for joining us today. Thank you for being a part of Arizona Barrio Stories. Your information, I know, is reaching somebody out there, and thank you for being available for phone calls.
Thank you, Irma. It is my pleasure. I believe this is an important topic, retirement preparation. This is a series that we call Retirement Bound. I am 58. I'll be 59 in December, so I think I can definitely say I'm retirement bound. And I think you're kind of there, kind of.
I'm like way past you, but I'm proud to say that I am retired but not tired.
Right. And yet, we have kids, and we're kind of observing their behavior, so to speak, in terms of how they handle their finances, because when we talk about retirement, there are at least two things that we have to pay attention to, and that is, number one, our health, and number two, our money. That's why we have a theme at AARP that is called Salud, Dinero y Amor. Of course, right? But salud and dinero are extremely important. We have to pay attention to what we eat and the exercise, drinking our waters and all that, and going to the doctor for the routine checkups. That is extremely important. We don't want to get to retirement in a condition that we could have avoided had we paid more attention to our health. Let me just put it that way. And money, money in our country, there are vehicles, right, that allow us to, to prepare for retirement. Some people work at companies that have pensions. Other companies may offer 401ks. They may also offer IRAs, individual retirement accounts, or if they don't, you may be able to buy it yourself, and that's why it's called individual. And then some of the folks, you can probably buy an annuity, life insurance, long-term care insurance, which is something that we will also address later on in the show. So there are different vehicles, and I know most of us are contributing 6.2% of our salaries, 6.2 for every dollar for Social Security. So we do well to understand it as best as possible, to kind of know what we can expect. And people should know that they can create an account on socialsecurity.gov to find out their record, right? How many years they worked, what wages they've made, and what is the projection of benefits that they potentially can get at the different ages. Because early retirement, it starts at 62, and then full retirement, it depends on your birth year. So we have been reviewing the Social Security benefits, and today we are going to be reviewing SSI. How does that sound?
It sounds really good. I remember hearing SSI when my grandmother was still alive. And
right.
So
Yeah, SSI stands for Supplemental Security Income, and I'm going to explain it in a very simple fashion. Basically, there is a federal benefit rate, and of course, you have to qualify. And let me also say the qualifications has a lot of factors. So it's not as simple as it sounds, because it's a benefit for which you do not need to have worked. SSI is given to people independently of their work records. No credits, no points, nothing. That's not going to be a factor. Okay, so that's why pretty strict, and you have to have really, really low income to qualify. And there's several factors, but let me just explain that there is a federal benefit rate, 2024, $943 for one individual, $1,415 for a couple. So once you meet requirements, Social Security is going to count countable income. Not everything is counted. Not everything counts. So they're gonna count countable incomes, and they're gonna use that amount and deduct it from the federal benefit rate, right? And whatever's left, that's your benefit. So if in an individual 943, if somebody has $43 of countable income, the benefit would be $900. But if another individual has $900 of countable income, their SSI benefit would be $43.
So it is monitored.
Yes. Very strict, very straightforward on one hand, but then there's different factors, especially in the income that they're going to count. So that's very, very important. It makes a difference the state you're in. Sometimes some states give more in addition to the federal benefit, like California. Hello. They seem to be more generous, Irma.
But probably not Arizona.
We do not. We do not give an extra benefit. It's the federal, and that's it, right? So that's important. There's factors too. The state you live in, if one resides in a home or an institution, if you live alone or with people, all those factors, because what they're trying to do is see what is your countable income. They're after that, right? They want to know what is your countable income. Not everything counts. Even if you work, not every dollar that you make counts, right? So they want to go after that and calculate your countable income, because they're going to deduct that amount from the federal benefit, and then whatever's left is going to be your benefit. How does that sound so far?
So far, so good.
All right. So let's talk about who is eligible for SSI. Did you know that even students can become eligible for SSI?
No, I didn't.
They can. Of course, they have to be disabled and all that, right? So, okay. So first of all, a person has to be 65 or older. If not, they can't. But if they have a disability that has been recognized by Social Security, in other words, they have been declared disabled by the Social Security Administration, they don't have to be 65, they can become eligible, provided the income and the resources which we're going to talk about in just a bit are met, right? If at any age, if blind, and then those that are disabled with a disability that started before 22, they can also become eligible. And of course, they cannot exceed the income and resources limits. And let's go on that. So the income they're going to count is your wages, your Social Security benefits, your pensions, assistance received for food and shelter. And I repeat, not everything is counted. And that is very important. That actually is a key. Not everything is counted. So again, the countable income, they're going to deduct it from the federal rate, and that's going to be your SSI and benefit. Talk about being strict, right? In income, you cannot have more than $2,000 in the bank if you're an individual. You cannot have $3,000 if you're a couple, and they check that. They have a way to do that, you know. I heard a case where somebody, I think they sold something or received an inheritance of some sort that hit their bank account. The benefit had to be suspended. They can reapply it if the situations change eventually, right? So it could be very, very strict. Another thing, especially for those that live partly in other countries such as Mexico, you cannot leave the country for more than 30 days If you do, then you have to let Social Security know, and they're going to suspend benefits for every month that you're outside. And then when you come back, you have to spend 30 days before they can resume the benefit. That is very important. And you know, they have to report. We strongly recommend that if there's any changes in the income or if they leave the country, to report it. You know why? Because if they are deemed ineligible because they left the country and they didn't find out until 5 months after, they're going to have to repay or pay back to Social Security that money that they got.
And do they have to reapply?
Actually, they don't have to reapply. As soon as Social Security recoups the money, then it'll be resumed. But this is important. Now, the good news is that recently a law passed where Social Security is not allowed to keep 100% of your benefits until you pay everything that you owe. They can only take 10%. So the person still will have income coming, or the benefit minus 10% until that money is repaid. Very strict rules, as you can tell, very strict. So people have to abide by all the rules to avoid problems. And so that this includes real estate, bank accounts, cash, stocks, bonds. They pay attention to that. In other words, this is for somebody whose income is really low and they don't have much, and the resources, they pay attention to resources quite.
Makes sense.
Yeah. No problem with the house if you have one house. Big problems if you have more than one house, of course. They even pay attention to the car you drive. They even pay attention if you have two cars, if you only need one. If you are a couple, then probably that will be fine. They pay attention to a lot of things. That's why I'm not here to cover all the details, but I would strongly recommend that somebody who kind of fits this, whose income fits this criteria, to apply. That is the best thing they can do. Or if they want to talk to me and kind of review more of the program and the requirements, by all means, my number always appears on the videos, and they can call me. Let's see, what else can we say about this benefit? We already talked about being a U.S. citizen, but let me also say that even non-citizens, if they meet some criteria, they could get SSI even if they're not citizens. Primarily if they have their 40 credits and other items. So again, it's best to find out, call me, go to Social Security website, call them, apply. That would be the best recommendation. Just apply. The worst thing they can do is say,
and you can get other benefits also.
Yes, and this is a good point. When somebody qualifies for SSI, most likely they're going to qualify for, say, the Medicare Savings Program, SNAP, which is food stamps. It's obviously easy or almost automatic to qualify for other benefits. Keep in mind that if you are eligible for some benefits, they force you to apply for them, like early retirement. Let's say you had planned to apply for Social Security until full retirement age, but you apply for SSI, they will ask you to apply for any eligible benefits, so that then they can decide whether or not to approve your SSI benefits. So there you have it.
David, thank you once again, and you're available. Your phone number will be here, so don't be surprised if somebody hits you up and has some questions.
That is an honor and a pleasure to receive those calls. Believe me, every time my phone rings, even some family members say, "Dad, why do you have to answer the phone on the weekend?" I said, "Because you don't understand. It is just such a pleasure to talk to people and provide this valuable information."
Thank you once again.
Mm-hmm. My pleasure.
It is our honor and our pleasure to present this to you. Thank you for listening, and hopefully this will help you or somebody within your circle. Thank you for being a part of Arizona Barrio Stories and Latino USA TV. As usual, we will see you soon.